talking different as if I could bloody business. I create a divide while I collect my dividends. You heard it all before, so let me show you what's the difference. I'm feeling like Mike Tyson, come from a different block, taking music to new levels, you know.
Hello and welcome to the Spartans Boxing Show. I'm Lakey and I'm joined by my trusty co-host, the former professional boxer, Mr. Arv Me Too. Hello, Arv.
Hello, Lakey. You all right, my friend?
I'm good. And it's a massive pleasure for us today to be joined by Gemma Ruegg, who is a new female professional waiting to make her debut in the world of boxing. Hello, Gemma. How are you?
I'm all right. Hi, guys.
Hello, Gemma.
Did I pronounce your name correctly? Because before we were recording, I was getting all tongue-tied. Rueg, that's right, isn't it?
Rueg, that's it. Yeah, Rueg.
Yes, good.
Oh,
as I said it, I thought afterwards I better make sure I get her name right because she might give me a slap. So that's fantastic. Thank you for coming on to the show. It's absolutely. We were just saying before the recording started, I can't see you guys because we're having some Zoom issues on my end, but you two can see each other. So that's fantastic.
We can see each other, and we can see you, Lakey. We can see you.
Good. That's good to know. So that's a good. Well, is that good? Probably not. But yeah, it's good. Good that you guys can see each other. So Gemma, thank you for coming on. We thought it would be obviously we were saying that you've recently joined Twitter, I believe, just this morning. So you're probably getting inundated with requests for interviews already. Because female boxing's the hot topic at the moment in the boxing world. So I mean, before we get too in depth, I mean, you're based in Bournemouth, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. And we were saying, obviously, you're good friends with Denise Castle, who's a world champion boxer herself. But in regards to your family, we were chatting again just a moment ago. Your husband is a former fighter. Do you want to? Was it Greg?
Danny
Rueg. So you were saying Danny used to be a fighter himself. He had 27 fights.
Yep.
And he fought for, was it an area title you were saying?
Yeah, he's got the Western Area title, and he fought Gomez, BB, Murray, James Murray. He fought a few good fighters. He had a good career.
Wow. And is he actively involved in your career at the moment, or?
He's a coach.
He's your coach. There you go.
Coach.
Can ask a more experienced coach than that of.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Oh,
fantastic.
Gemma, who manages you?
Steve Bendel.
Oh, I remember Steve. Steve was a fighter as well.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him. He was around at the time as me. Steve Bendel.
Yeah, same time.
Yeah, remember him very well.
Yeah, he's in Paul.
I think he was a middleweight. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember Steve Bendel. He was.
It's such a small world, you know.
Yeah, it is. And also, I mean, because you guys are in the West Country, for want of, I mean, Bournemouth is Dorset, but you're going towards the West Country, and it wasn't so. I remember the 90s. Arv probably does as well, and I'm sure you do, Gemma. I mean, the West Country was quite a hotbed for professional boxing back in sort of the mid to late 90s, wasn't it? We had some really good fighters, and if I remember rightly, didn't Chris Eubank? Didn't he fight? I can't remember. Was it Steve Collins? One of those guys he fought over in Somerset, wasn't it? I think was it Steve Collins or was it? It might have been Cornelius. I can't remember.
I can't remember where he fought Steve Collins.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was Steve Collins. My brother might have been calling it. I know. Or Sam Story. Was it Sam Story? One of those guys he fought over that way. But it was a proper hotbed. So it sounds like it's not just your husband that's a former fighter. You were saying again that your son is now a professional boxer.
My son's active with MTK. Yeah, Mace Ruegg.
Yeah, Mace Ruegg. So I mean, boxing is a massive part of your family then, quite clearly.
Oh, huge, yeah. My brother-in-law is also an ex-professional boxer. My dad was judo. My sister's taekwondo. So all of us fight in one way or another. So
when you all go out to the pub, then nobody argues with you?
Well, none of us go to the pub. So the gym is
remember those pubs? Remember those?
Nobody messes with any of you guys.
Kids don't get bullied. So, I mean,
that's good.
In regards to your own career, I mean, we were saying off air, I mean, you used to do MMA yourself. Do you want to tell us a little bit? I mean, how many fights did you? How far did you get with your MMA career?
I had about eight MMA fights. I got up to Cage Warriors, which was pretty awesome. I took a fight short notice, fought someone who was really good. I really had a good fight on there. And I fought Shock and Awe, which is a showdown in Portsmouth. I had a good one on there. I loved it, but it just takes up literally all of your day, all of your time, because you've got to not just, be okay at one discipline. You've got to like master so many. You've got to put so much hours in. And with my lifestyle, I couldn't do it. So I always preferred my hands. Like, I always preferred boxing, but it just it didn't have the time to be as good as I needed to be.
Gemma.
Sorry,
I was going to say to Gemma, how many sort of rounds were you fighting? Were you doing? Was it sort of 3-5 minute rounds?
3 5-minute rounds.
Oh, I thought so.
Wow. So, what's your take? I mean, if you were doing 3 5s, how do you think? I'm sure you've trained, like I say, but how do you think you're going to find the reduction to 2-minute rounds?
I really don't like the 2-minute rounds. I used to fight 2-minute rounds in the unlicensed, and I just feel it rushes my work a little bit. So I'm actually working on that at the moment, trying to because I'd always train 3 minutes rounds with the lads in the gym, but I'm trying to do more 2-minute rounds to try and slow myself down, stop myself from rushing and letting all my skill go out the window. It's hard.
Totally
it's more
agree.
of a sprint,
Totally agree.
I think in the 3 minutes.
I totally agree, Gemma. Would you agree saying if they made ladies professional boxing 3-minute rounds rather than 2-minute rounds, it would be better for you? You got more time to do what you need to do rather than them cutting it down, making ladies boxing 2 minutes. Would you agree it would be better if they made it 3 minutes rather than 2 minutes because of the time?
Yeah, definitely. It needs to be 3 minutes. It'd be more skillful, I think. I mean, the women boxing is amazingly, it's skillful. I just think, me on a personal level, I watch my fights back and it just looks like a sprint. It looks like a rush, and I think 3 minutes would be better.
Totally agree with that.
I was talking to. It's funny because we get kind of mixed. I did an article recently for our website, and I talked about team. The WBC have got a really strong stance against women fighting 3-minute rounds on medical grounds. They cite it as something to do with the formation of the bones. I think it was in the back of the neck, and they'd taken medical evidence to say that the females dehydrate quicker, and that obviously that means they're more prone to concussion. And then there was counter arguments for these medical people that got this information from, to say actually that had been totally misinterpreted by the WBC, and actually there needs to be more research done in regards to women fighting 3-minute rounds. And I've talked to quite a few sort of female boxers about it, and some sort of say actually I like the 2 minutes because it does mean that I have to come out and I have to start really quickly and I have to really go for it in that 2 minutes. And their argument was that 3-minute rounds, it might slow it down too much, and it might become, because the women don't KO. This is their words, the women don't get as many knockouts as the guys, and it means a lot of these fights are going to go the 3-10s or 10-3s. But I kind of think, I don't know, because surely it might be a case of, if you knew you had 3 minutes, it means that, like you say, for that first minute you can kind of start working your way into the round. And then there's a lot of these fights that you watch, televised cards now with the 2-minute rounds, and some of these girls, I think the recent sort of Bridges and Shannon Courtney fight, there were a couple of rounds in there where Courtney kind of had Bridges in real trouble going towards the end of the 2 minutes, and then of course the bell rang, and then it gives them time to recuperate and start again. So maybe the 3 minutes.
You want that extra minute, don't you? You want to see what's going to happen.
The thing is, you know what? It's to say that the women have fought 3 minutes. It's not like women have never fought. There's a few American women have fought 3 minutes. So for them to say this sort of thing, I don't really understand. I'm just trying to think what her name is. There's a top lady trains with.
There's a WBA fight. I think it was a flyweight, or I can't remember if it was flyweight or featherweight.
Lady
and they fought 3 minutes.
Floyd Mayweather's.
Yeah,
I can't think of her name right now. But
I can't remember her name.
She fought a 3 minutes. So it's not as though that it can't be done, because it can be done. So
there's a difference.
And it has been
MMA
done.
or Thai boxing, that the women fight the same time rounds as the men. It's only the boxing they changed it.
And you've just hit the nail on the head there, Gemma, because that was my next question. Because when we were talking about this publicly on Twitter and stuff, one of my questions was, in boxing, the men box 3 minutes, the women box 2 minutes. In MMA, I asked the question about, I think it was UFC. I said, obviously you've got the female UFC fighters, you've got the males. Do the women fight the same distance as the men in mixed martial arts UFC? And you've just said they do. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And without sounding, rude to boxing, I mean, in MMA, you're getting kicked in the head, you're getting elbowed, you're getting kneed. Yeah. So surely, you can tell us from experience, surely having taken those kind of blows yourself, I mean, you're probably more prone to getting seriously injured in MMA than you would in a boxing ring. Would you say that's right, or am I wrong? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I've got some horrendous injuries from MMA. From elbows and stuff, which it's brutal. It can be brutal. I know, like they the medical experts will say like the damage is more deep with the boxing glove and stuff like that, but I don't know where they can justify between male and female. I mean, I haven't seen any medical reports, and I haven't read any medical evidence on what you were saying earlier, what the WBA are saying. So it'd be interesting to read that and see their look on it actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to our website, Sport and Airham, I've got there's an article on there. You can have a look, and it's all there. Have a read through it at your leisure with a cup of strong coffee. Like we were saying, and see what your thoughts are. Because I find it quite. Me personally, I think if we keep talking about equality for female boxers, and I think and pay, they're talking about pay, but until I suppose the girls are kind of on an equal footing with the men in regards to rounds and timings, that's always going to be the argument, well, why we shouldn't pay them as much because they're not fighting for as long as the men are, So it would be an interesting set. I mean, but moving away from that, I mean, for you, I mean, you're still waiting to have your first, I'm sorry, I'm going a step ahead. I mean, we were talking about your MMA and then your amateur career. I mean, you fought unlicensed on the Queensbury Boxing League.
Yeah.
So did you have many? I mean, obviously, much run, fantastic Ross Minter.
Yeah, it's an amazing platform, really well run, great people. I had 4 fights in there, won 3 titles. I won a novice welterweight title, and I won the novice and the regional, the welterweight titles. So I won 3 titles on there.
I just wanted to say, Gemma, going back to MMA again, what did you find the other discipline sort of thing? Did you find the MMA? I mean, because to me, you got to say it is hard having no gloves on. You only got it's just like using your bare fist when you're fighting MMA. Really, not much protection.
Yeah, the mitts are pretty small. Yeah.
You can elbow and head choke out and everything. So surely that's got to be worse.
It can be. Yeah, it can be. That's why I think that's why I said you've got to spend them hours putting into every single discipline, because if you're great at wrestling but crap at boxing, they're going to pick you apart. They'll work you out and they'll suss you out.
You've got to master everything in that game. I mean, then you get certain people who can kick your head off. So you got to try and learn how to sort that out as well. It's not like just boxing where it's punching. You can elbow, you can knee, you can choke out. Then you get some superb kickers who can jump and spin in the air and all sorts, like movie stars. There's a movie star who does that MMA and he's deadly. I've watched him. It's so many different things to master in that. So I do understand.
Full-time job.
I mean, I suppose you'll be another one to. I mean, Clarissa Shields recently went across, didn't she, from boxing to? She went the other way. Got. Done the boxing and she moved across to MMA, which I thought was kind of interesting. It'd be interesting to see, because I can't imagine MMA is the kind of sport you're going to pick up in 2 minutes.
I mean, she done well, but what happens when she comes against someone lethal? Then what she going to do then? You see, it's a different game. It's something what takes years, isn't it? That's my opinion, to be able to master that. Also, with the different, things there is, mastering choking out. So if it comes against someone who's a master at choking out, someone a master at kicking, and numerous different things in the MMA, it becomes very hard then. I mean, she won against that person, she might fight someone totally different and may have problems. So
yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey. I mean, for you, Gemma, I mean, I mean, obviously you've had those 4 fights with Queensbury on the unlicensed circuit. And you know, you're still waiting to make your professional debut, which, you know, we were saying earlier again, you know, this whole COVID crisis has prevented, you know, stalled a lot of your progress, I presume, at the moment, you know, which must be horrendously frustrating.
Really,
I mean,
really frustrating.
I feel
As an amateur to go, because I was going to do a year of amateur boxing and then go from a pro license. So I got carded, and I had about 3 or 4 fights lined up. And then they'd pull out, and then we couldn't find anything. Then get matched, and then it'd fall through, and it was really frustrating. And then we got locked down. So my husband, my trainer, he said, let's just go for it whilst we're all locked down. Let's just get the license done. And we did. Steve, my son fought on Steve Bendel's show, and later on he saw a few of my fights, and he approached my husband and said, you know, what's her plans? You know, does she want? We said we want to go pro, and he said he'd sign me in. We put in place like getting the license and stuff, which again it took a while because of COVID, because there wasn't many interviews and meetings. It wasn't all going as normal, so it all took a long time.
Yeah, and you were saying as well, I mean, obviously, I think at one point during that process, because you're a mum, you know, which is one, obviously we've talked about your son Mace, but you've got, I think is it a mum of 7, which that in itself is absolutely, you know, amazing. I mean, how you find time to do all you're doing, you know, I tip my hat to you. I mean, that's, we use the term superhero, but you obviously, you know, you obviously are, you know. I know when Tasha Jonas, as an example, she's a mum of 1, you know, and she was talking about the struggles having the 1 child, trying to sort of juggle an amateur career, professional career, you know. So to have this, I mean, it's amazing. But you were saying that during the process to get your professional boxing license, that there was quite a few hurdles in that regard as well, because one point during that process, obviously you were pregnant and went on to have your baby. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how did that pan out?
I found out I was pregnant when I had my medical, so it was a little bit of a shock. But everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
So I had to sit extra medicals after I'd had him, just because they didn't want to be extra sure that I'm fit enough to box. But all good things are worth a wait, aren't they? So we got there in the end, got my license through a couple of months ago, and been waiting for a date. So there's not many, you know, hopefully come the 19th, things are going to start opening up, shows are going to start kicking off, and hopefully there'll be more opportunities. But right now, just waiting on a phone call and waiting for a date, So I've been told to stay ready, stay on wait, and wait for it. So
yeah, I think you're right. I mean, July the 19th, D-Day, isn't it, or V-Day, Freedom Day, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's I think everybody's waiting with bated breath for that day to get here, so they can get a run out. I mean, there seems to be more shows in the pipeline for sure. And again, we were saying your promoter is Steve Bendel.
He's a manager.
Manager, sorry. So he's your manager. Is that SK4? Is that part?
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah.
Excellent. And is he? I mean, what are you going to be fighting at welterweight as a professional? I mean, obviously, you were in the unlicensed. Middleweight.
Featherweight, 9 stone. Featherweight's 9 stone.
9 stone. Okay, sorry, Mike.
Gemma, you know, sometimes things happen for a reason. And you said you was waiting to be carded to go amateur. But the thing is, you fought on Queensbury already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Those things happen for a reason. You know, my opinion is probably good that you're not having any amateur fights, because then you're gonna have to change your style again. Yeah. You know, your style you have what you've done in your Queensbury, that is more professional. So then you gotta change to go in the amateur, and it's tip tap, in and out. Well, you've already done Queensbury, so then you're gonna have to change again to go in the amateur.
Pedaling and then going again,
then change again to go into pro. So things happen for a reason. In my opinion, this is probably a good thing that you've done your Queensbury and you've gone professional.
No, my husband said the same thing. He said he said not your style. He said you don't fight like an amateur. He said you fight like a professional. So
there you go. No,
Oh, you still there, guys?
I'm still here.
yeah,
Yeah, still there.
Oh, that's right. It's my Zoom. I must apologise to the people watching and listening. I can't see any of you guys, and it keeps sounding like it cuts out. So hence why I was saying middleweight. So featherweight makes more sense than
featherweight.
Yeah, so Gemma, in the sense of fighting the Queensbury rules, and you put yourself in the, you sorted yourself out doing that, then going professional. That's fair enough. But having you had gone from the Queensburys to the amateurs, then it makes it more difficult, because then you got to change your style again for that. So it's probably a good thing that you went straight to the professional ranks rather than going amateur anyway. So that's probably put you in good stead, going to the Queensbury rule and then going straight to professional. That's my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion.
And I mean, in regards to training wise, then, I mean, obviously, if you're waiting for your debut, which could come any day, hopefully, once Freedom Day is upon us, which would be fantastic for you. What are you doing in the meantime? Are you doing lots of sparring and stuff in the gym just to kind of keep yourself ticking over and keep yourself sharp? Or
I train twice a day. I run 4 times a week. I sort of try and mix it up. Sparring, pad work, foot drills, everything. COVID, that's one thing COVID has done. It's made me focus more on, we've been picking out the little bits and pieces that we wanted to in my fights, and we've been working on them. Where it's only been me, my husband, and my son in the gym, I feel I've had that focused training, and I've really worked some things out. So I'm sparring twice a week. Trying to get some more rounds in with other professionals around the country. I've had some rounds with Ellie Booth. She's waiting for her debut as well. We've had some great rounds. Denise Castle used to spar with, and now I'm hoping she'll be available to spar soon. Hopefully she'll have a fight coming up soon. I'm going to approach some more women, try and get some more rounds in. More experience the better. Just be busy. I mean, the pad work drills and stuff like that. My fitness, I'm always working on my fitness, always working on my strength, and like I said, COVID's done me a favor because I've managed to have that one-to-one focus for a long time.
Yeah. I suppose you're right in that respect. I mean, again, a lot of fighters have said, as much as it's been frustrating, it has, like you said, it's given because obviously for elite athletes, which you are as a professional boxer, you're still able to get, whereas the amateurs, again, another point with the whole amateur thing, it's closed down. You wouldn't have been, you can't train, you can't, but with the elite, because you're classed as an elite athlete, you can go into the gym, you can travel around, you can spar with other professionals, which you've been doing, and so it keeps you primed, for want of a better word, so and I'm sure, like you say, with your husband and your son, with the silly question, but you've never sparred with your son, have you?
I have. I used to spar him all the time when we used to do MMA, but I stopped sparring him when he was about 14. He was about 45 kilo, and I could sit on him then, but I can't sit on him now. I can't catch him.
How old is he now?
He walks around at probably about 65 kilo now. He's heavier than me, bigger than me, stronger and faster. So he can. His dad can spar him.
How old is
he? He's 21 now.
Oh wow! Yeah, big lad. Then you don't want to be. It just popped in my head while we were talking about you going around sparring people. I thought, I wonder if, because obviously you're a very competitive family, I'm sure, with all of the, the sports that the whole family do. So competition is running through your veins, So I was thinking, it just popped in my head. I thought, I wonder if they ever actually get in the ring and have a sparring.
I spar my husband quite a lot, and I spar my other coach, John, quite a lot as well. But it's taken me years to leave my emotions at the door, because it used to get extremely emotional. And you get punched in the face by your husband, and you're just like, why are you doing that, man? But now I've managed to conquer that, and I don't have so many bitch fits in the gym anymore. I'm getting better. So it's hard. It's really hard. It's like I used to work with my dad, and it's working with them, living with them. It becomes intense, especially when you're in the ring, basically fighting. But I think we've conquered it now. We've worked it out. We're doing all right. I just don't.
It's that bit there where you said getting punched in the face by my husband. In any other walk of life, that would be viewed to be,
I know.
a very serious offence.
I work foot drills and stuff with Mace because he has amazing movement, and we always have done for like since he was a kid. He's fast on his feet. He's a little mover, and he was the one who helped me get my movement going on my feet, because my footwork used to be horrendous. So we spent hours and hours and hours doing drills, and we still do. We move around, sort of doing tap drills and stuff like that. But when it comes to actual sparring, I'll leave that to the other pros. I'm not going there.
Gemma, what kind of rounds do you spar? What kind of rounds are you doing when you're sparring? Do you do threes or do you do twos? What do you do?
I've always been doing threes, but because now it's getting close to the actual fight, I'm going to start training twos, which I've started doing the last few weeks. That's what I'm trying to now. I'm trying to work on keeping my boxing brain calm in those 2-minute rounds rather than trying to rushing my work.
Yeah, because like you said, it's obviously it's like when it's the 2 minutes, it's like a sprint, isn't it? So you need to sort of change yourself.
And I'm the only woman in the gym, so all the men they're training for 3-minute rounds. So it's only when I do one-to-one training with my coaches that I'll do the 2-minute rounds.
Got you. Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Awesome. And as a mum, though, I mean, with Mace in particular, I mean, how do you find does it still get emotional from that side of it for you seeing your son in a ring fighting, or
when he was little? Yeah, I used to get quite nervous, and I used to get he's got a very flamboyant style. He used to have his hands down and stuff. And when he was a kid, I'm a protective mum. I'm shaking. I'm getting nervous. I'm shouting at him to put his hands up. But now, like, it's not that I didn't have faith in him before, but I know what he's capable of. Like, I'm just like, he's got this, So I absolutely love watching him fight, and not just because of my son, because he's such an entertainer. He's I've always said he's going to be a superstar, and he really is, and he's just so much fun to watch. So I don't really get those nerves anymore.
And what about him when I know obviously he's watched you at Queensbury. Is he very nervous for you waiting your professional day?
Yeah, the last fight I had in the Queensbury, he goes a little bit quiet. But then I think it's still the same sort of feelings. I think he knows that I've got it, but he just has that sort of quietness to him. But then he gets well involved. He's always been in my corner, so he's always been with me. The whole journey he's been with me.
Gemma, I think I'd get nervous if my mum was fighting, though.
I was going to say I would.
That's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Bless him. No, good for him. I mean, it must be. I'm sure for all of you, I think it's wonderful that obviously, you've just got your professional license. He's obviously doing very well in his career. Must be very nice for your husband. He's got his son boxing, his wife boxing. Busy family.
Yeah,
busy family.
Busy.
And what about any of the other kids? Are they looking to take up some boxing, or are they?
We've got 5 younger ones. They are 6, 5, 3, 2, and we've got Rico, who was 5 months. So they're all in the gym with us every day. But the 6-year-old and the 5-year-old are just starting to show a bit of an interest. But we'll just let them pick it up if they want to pick it up. If they don't, they don't. It's not because they're around it every day. It's not. They don't need to be said right now. You're doing boxing. If it's up to them. I want it to be fun for them. So my daughter, who's 5, she's got into the kickboxing at the moment. She's really enjoying that. My son, he's doing the boxing, the 6-year-old son. So we'll see where it goes. It's really, I don't want no pressure on them. I just want them to have fun and enjoy it. If they want to do it, if they don't, they don't.
Sounds like there could be many years of boxing in the future. Kickboxing or MMA for you guys.
Inundated with Rueg.
It's absolutely brilliant. And obviously, I'm conscious of time because I know you've got a busy life and schedule. I just wanted to ask you. I was looking on your Twitter account earlier. Combat Dollies. What it says you're the CEO, founder, and CEO. What do you want to tell us a bit about Combat Dollies? Or
right. Well, when I started training MMA, about when I started fighting about 9 years ago, trying to find something to fight in that wasn't menswear was really, really difficult. I'd end up these massive MMA shorts, big ugly t-shirts. It just looked gross. So I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna design myself a few pairs of spats to roll around in, and then you know, because I sort of taught myself how to do a bit of graphic design and stuff. So I did that, and then, you know, a few girls from the gym, and they were like, "Oh, they're pretty cool." So I thought I'll do a few more, and I'll sell some on, and, you know, pay for my stuff. And it just sort of roller coasted, and then before I know it, I turned into a fitness wear company. So Combat Dollies is fitness wear for women. It was supposed to be solely just, when I first started, it was just fight wear for me, because I just wanted something better to wear. But now I've got everything from horse riders to MMA fighters, keep fitters, runners. I've got every kind of athlete wearing my gear now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's awesome because it wasn't planned. That's what I love so much about it. It just happened. And now my company and my husband's gym, we share a big unit, so we work together during the day. Me and my husband run the company. Our oldest daughter works for us as well now, and then the gym is literally straight through a door. So we are. It's worked out so well. So it's cool.
And you and your husband, I mean, that's an amazing story. I mean, what you've done with, you know, in your, you know, you're a professional fighter, business owner, mum of 7, you know, it's phenomenal. Absolutely, your achievements are phenomenal. And you very casually breezed over one point there, which really stood out to me. You went, "I want to taught myself a bit of graphic design." I mean, bloody hell! I mean, not many. I taught myself a bit of graphic design just so I could start. I mean, that's phenomenal. What you're doing is amazing. You know,
I like to learn.
Well, I'd say you do, and obviously you're doing very well, which is absolutely fantastic. You know,
I've got to say, having 7 kids is that in itself is a hard thing to do. Never mind anything else, you know. So
full-time job.
It is, but you know, Danny is amazing. He's such a great dad. It's teamwork. Honestly, I couldn't have 7 kids of my own. I'd be in a nut house. Honestly, he's awesome. It's teamwork.
You two must be phenomenal together. I mean, to work together, you know, to be married, to work together. You're obviously around each other all the time, you know.
24/7. Best mates. Yeah. That's what it works.
And exactly that. You must be best friends as well as husband and wife.
We are, yeah.
You know, which is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Well, all we can say, Gemma, from us here at the Spartans Boxing Show, part of Sport and Arium, is, you know, we wish you. I'm sure you're going to do very well. I mean, you sound, just from chatting to you briefly today, I mean, you've got that kind of mentality that when you want to get something, you're going to go out, you're going to do it. So, you know, I think you can do phenomenally well. And, you know, we were saying to you off air, you know, we've got our show in September and we've got another one in December where we're hoping to have one of your friends from Bournemouth on the card, and it would be lovely to have you along just as a guest to join us so we can meet you.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I'd love to see the next fight, so yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Fantastic. Well, we're definitely arranged for that to happen, because it'd be lovely to have you along and to meet you and obviously your husband, your son, your family, whoever you want to bring, you know. So that'd be wonderful. Sorry, Arvo, did I cut over you? Because I can't see you both. It's difficult.
No, you haven't. It's fine. That's fine.
Oh, good. That's all right. I just want to make sure I wasn't. But so Gemma, thank you very much. And obviously, obviously everybody's going to know you as a fighter now, but is there a website they can go to for your business there and your fight gear?
Yeah, it's combatdollies.co.uk. That's got all my sportswear on it, and personally it's Gemma the Rebel Rueg on Instagram, or Gemma Ruegg on Twitter, which I'm new at. I'm going to master this Twitter thing. We'll get on it. So Gemma Ruegg, you'll be able to find me on most platforms.
Fantastic. And we'll post this on Twitter and everywhere else so everybody can find you. And I'm sure you're going to be inundated with requests for interviews over the next few days. So it's nice that we've got you first. So we're very happy about that. And, but all we can do is wish you well and the best to you and the best to your family. And good luck.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on.
Oh no, it's been an absolute pleasure hearing about it.
Thanks for being on. Brilliant.
Nice one. Cheers, Alf.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.